I'm Mick, Shannon, and I'm running for one of the council seats that is open. Quickly, I'll try to gloss over my profession because that community, oh no, I don't want to say it that way. Working with volunteers and in local communities all over the country has been my job since I graduated from college. I worked for 10 years for the March of Dimes here in Utah, raising money for the prevention of birth defects. We raised a little over $1 million a year. And then I founded the Children's Miracle Network. I quit one day and got tired of sending some of the money off to New York City. 60% went to New York. And I thought it all ought to stay here, so I founded the Children's Miracle Network, and we started raising money for children's hospitals all over North America. Went out and recruited all the hospitals, got a bunch of corporate sponsors. We raise about $300 million a year now for children's hospitals. I am recently retired and still have some connections and activity there. Beyond that, as a volunteer, I helped raise money for the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. I worked with the American Legion. They had a commitment of $100 million to help build that memorial, and we went to a number of folks to generate, that was about a $250 million project with the American Legion responsible for $100 million of that, and we went all over the country raising money to build that World War II memorial. Beyond that, I've done fundraising for the National Association of Chiefs of Police, done a number of events for them in Washington, D.C. around their convention, raised $900,000 a year for those guys and got very well acquainted with them. I served on a number of boards around the country, Johns Hopkins for one, Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital. I raised a lot of money for my alma mater, particularly for the athletic department. You can guess which one that might be. I worked on the Romney campaign extensively, traveled all over the country, raised a lot of money for that campaign, worked on the Bush campaign, again traveling all over the country, raising money for the Bush campaign. Other than that, I think the most important thing we can do is to make sure that we each take care of our spouse and our family, and then the community would be, all the needs of the community would be met if that were done in every family. So that's kind of my background, some of the things I've done over the years. The very first time I came out to Herriman, we were doing a ride-a-thon, riding horses as a fundraiser up Butterfield Canyon. And I came out here and saw this beautiful part of the country for the first time when we did that probably 25 years ago. So it's a great place to live. I hope to have your support and your vote, and we'll put the community first. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jerry Walker. I, like the mayor, have been involved for quite some time in the affairs of Herriman. I've always said, and as I look out here, if you have a kid that does anything in the boundaries of Herriman, I've had a chance to screw it up. I have coached baseball, I've coached soccer, I've coached lacrosse. I have been the president of the baseball league back at the time when the baseball league was one field in the middle of the town. I don't even know, at the time we weren't even a city. I took over from some people that took the time to build the league, and part of that responsibility is getting up in the middle of the night to take the water to water the field, and I did that. I volunteered in Herriman my entire life. Perhaps the biggest thing from my family standpoint is the cemetery. And if you look at the cemetery in Herriman, especially on Memorial Day, I think you would have a hard time finding a more beautiful cemetery anywhere in the country. Benjamin Franklin, and this is out on the cemetery, said that you can tell what a community is like by their cemetery. The cemetery was my father's life work, and so it just kind of fell to me when he passed away to do some of it. It's been turned over to the city, but when we started years ago, that cemetery was sagebrush and nothing else. In the days, I remember the days when we would go out and you cleaned the family plot for Memorial Day. And that's how it got cleaned. If you look at it now, that's because of the volunteer of the people of Herriman, and my family led some of that, and I was included in that. And I'm proud of the hours and hours I've spent out there in holes in the ground, not burying people. Not that good. We ran water, we ran electricity, and we put that together, and that's what started the cemetery that we have now. I've been a 4-H leader for years. I don't do that anymore because my children grew out of it, and I'm too old to drag pigs around. But I was a 4-H leader for several years. We showed at the county fair, and as a result of that, I was nominated or drafted. Does that mean 10 seconds or 30? 15. I was the manager of the county fair auction for several years. I took care of all the money for all of the county for that, and especially for the kids of Herriman. I'm really excited about that. The last thing I want to say is, between Michelle and I, Herriman Elementary came back to Utah, or to Salt Lake, actually, here to Herriman. Michelle will tell you about that.